is for me. Probably one what I'm doing. Every day in the studio. Every day in the studio. Every day no fully shit. In the streets with the Yeezys on. In the streets with the hoodie up. In the streets.
All right. You know, this is gonna be a little quicker episode, but yet again, we got my main man, Jamal. Play no games, whatever. I just want to say, I appreciate doing these shows because I get the chance to catch up with you, my guy, because you are a busy man. Busy man.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
So, okay, well, my thing is, yeah, you're a busy man, but it's kind of like...
I'm glad to be here, though. Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's just say it like this. As you all know, that usually I'm not going to be interviewing my guy. He's a part of this, our framework, because, if I blow up, then, he going to come along with me. Like, that's 1,000.
Thank you.
Because I feel like you make the show, even though you're not here all the time. But Koss is not here, but this is still going to be a fruitful episode. There's a couple things that I definitely want to talk to him about. No, not shitting on me and Koss, but like, man, what you been up to?
Man, just working hard at Macky's World, honestly. Just trying to figure out what's next for the pod. Still doing my interviews and whatnot. Still trying to figure out the marketing aspect of it, because breaking through with that, I mean, it's tough, but again, I don't want like sensational headlines and whatnot. I just want to be me ultimately, so that's what I'm doing. Just give you me and the talented people around me. So
I feel it. So let's just jump straight into it. I got some things that's on my mind, and I needed, someone in the Matrix with me, because you're in the Matrix, and you took that blue pill, so you know what's going on. So I want to talk to the people about balance, and I feel like me and my homeboys were talking about this, and one of my homeboys was saying, Rob, you do a good job balancing when you're in a relationship and when you're with your boys. And I just want to speak on balance when it comes to like relationships and dating. And
great topic, by the way.
No problem. And I feel like it was great to while Koss is, I don't know, he's at work.
I'm coming for you, Koss.
I feel like it's great to have you on, because I legitimately believe you do a great job of balancing. And I know I may not talk to you all the time, but I at least see you once a month. Like, we at least do something, like a walk or like a show, and I never feel out of our loop. Or if I need something, I never feel like it's a burden. And I was just, I know I have experiences with balancing and things like that, but I was just wondering, how do you feel about how do you feel you balance being in a relationship and keeping up with friends and goals and dreams?
I would say too many times in life, people that are in relationships don't know the beauty and the magic to what balancing is. There's so many times that I see people around me, they get into a relationship or they're in a relationship and they just cut everybody else off around them.
Facts.
And I think that's unfortunately dangerous, because unfortunately, say y'all do break up and it's like you kind of cut everybody off, so trying to insert yourself back into the mix of people can be tricky. Now, in my relationship, I'd say our balance is top notch. Now, I'm not comparing to anybody else per se, but just what I've seen around me, I mean, I think we do a great job at it. And we started this pretty early on, just because we were in high school when we got together, or I guess leaving high school, whatever, time is time. But but basically, it's like she had her time with her friends. I'm not blowing her up on her phone, texting her, seeing what she's doing. And when I'm with my friends, it's the same. It's like she's not on my case about where I'm at and who I'm with. So we have that balance to where, hey, you have time with your friends, I have time with mine. And when we're together, you know? Simple as that.
Beanie Boys.
Beanie Boys.
No, I feel like that's like dope. And I have a funny story for us. The funny story was in high school, because I still mutually follow these people. One of my friends got his very first girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And like at the time, he was an omnivore and she was a vegan or whatever. And like we, as the months went by, we progressively saw him like change. And that change was he started to be a vegetarian, and then he went to pescatarian, and then he was a full vegan. And for like almost 2 weeks, he looked like a skeleton. Like he did it like cold.
That's
and
rough.
then he went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, he literally gave him a prescription like, "Yo, eat some meat." We God bless his heart, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get this girl a heart." I was like, damn, we simping. And he didn't have that, not like friend balance, but like that self balance, because she was still rocking with him when he was still eating meat. Yeah. She was just not eating meat. Mm-hmm. So it's just like crazy that it's so, I think, as I look at it, where like there is the entities of like, there's these like proverbs that were like, oh, when you get to marry, you become one. Where it's kind of like, no, you're like two whole people coming together and you're balancing. It's like being like a kid who's trying to like be an adult, and you're like taking turns like who's the top and who's the bottom in a trench coat. You're kind of like, all right, I'm going to be the top this time, or, you know, because you're whole beings. Yeah. And it's just like crazy to me that people struggle with that. Well, I shouldn't say crazy, but I have an understanding why people struggle with that, of like balance. Mm-hmm.
But I think you brought up a good point. It was pretty much, I guess to sum it all up, was like you can't lose yourself.
Yes.
Because when you're with somebody, you know, at the end of the day, you're never going to fully be one person. That's just not possible. We have our own traumas that we deal with, and it's our own things we go to that sometimes we want to just kind of keep to the chest. You don't want to always reveal stuff to everybody. Well, I'm speaking for myself at that, but, you know, you don't want to lose your characteristics of yourself and what made you by just going cold turkey and trying to change for somebody else, because when you change for somebody else, it's like doesn't really work out like that, you know. Just you might get a health problem, health issues. It's a prime example of that. So.
But I want to speak to, like, you know, and you correct me if I'm wrong, like your introvert side, where it's kind of like there's nothing wrong with that in a relationship. No. It's about the balance of like, okay, I have to say this to my friend and or partner or whatever type of relationship, and being able to be like, I can keep this to myself, because absolutely. Because that's the one thing when I talk to people who are like, oh, I don't know if I can tell. You have to tell your partner maybe like 65% of what you need to, because there are certain things that you may think you need to keep to your chest, but it's actually they should know that so they can better support you. Whereas like you have to look at it from like, how can this person support me? Should they know this information? Now, if you with your girl and there's a big booty that come down the street, you keep that to yourself, okay? So that's all I'm saying. But it's like, you know, stuff like that. And it was just weirdly something that came upon my mind this week. I was just like, man, people just don't know how to balance that shit. And I just wanted to just talk with you, and I was just curious, what are some of like your personal tips for yourself that no one else, or you feel like you want to bless the people for, like, how do you maintain that balance?
I would say the number one thing is communication. Because communication will lead to trust, you know. So if you're being honest with that person, it's kind of twofold. If you're communicating with them and they don't have a reason not to trust you or doubt what you say, then you should be all good. I mean, I think of it like court in a way. So okay, follow me here.
I'm following.
So what defense attorneys do is try to bring doubt into the jury's mind. So the moment there's a little bit of doubt, you question everything. So if you give your girl or dude a reason to think something's off a little bit, then you don't have that trust. That's a bar.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yo, that's a clip. That's a clip right there. That's a motherfucking clip. That makes so much sense because I always I describe my innate abilities for at least emotionally, like being a detective. Like, why does this person come to this conclusion? Like, I'm like, you know what? I'm a glorified detective. Like, literally, I have to figure that shit out. But you're fucking right. Why do I? Yo, it's not relationships. It's the courtroom now. It's the courtroom.
But I mean, you just gotta be honest with people. Ultimately, you know, just don't give them a reason to doubt you. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, we are human, so you might question something, but if you can come back with an honest answer, you know, and speak your truth, you know, let somebody come to their own conclusions. Hey, but at the end of the day, if you spoke your truth, you're good. You know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Not that.
It's something to think about, though. It's something to chew on, you know.
No, definitely. So another thing I wanted to bring you here, and we'll kind of like round the corner with this, because I wanted to bring your perspective, because your perspective is always. I actually literally don't know what you're gonna say sometimes.
Sometimes I don't either.
So Cardi B, Offset, Mama himself.
Mama.
That was good. So, to catch everyone up to speed, long story short, Offset is doing not what he's supposed to again, I guess so. So Cardi B publicly divorces him, right? And they're back together again. And then her rhyme and reasons was like she wanted to scare him and put the fear of God of him, that, you know, she could be gone. And then I remember when it was going on, just people being like, oh, he ain't shit, blah, 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 you know, the whoop, 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 whoop. And then they got back together. And then there's this one guy on Instagram, he like made Demon Time or stuff like that. It's like Justin. He was like, ha, see, I told y'all, this is where I gotta stay in your friend's business. I laughed so fucking hard because I was like, you know what? You fucking right. So I've been trying to wrap my tentacles around this, where it's kind of like, what's the balance of staying out of your friend's business, being supportive, because like Offset's cheated, he said he's cheated. I don't think this particular time he did cheat. She was just like being preventative. She's like, you're stressing me out, so I'm gonna scare you. One, that's a whole other thing to unpack, but like, yo, what do you even say to like shit like that, where you're around like friends and people where you're kind of like, oh, advice, and then Wednesday they're back together. You like, you motherfucker.
That's tough. Well, I guess there's like two different sides to it. There's the social media aspect of it, and there's also like, this is my actual friend aspect. So what type of advice? So I'll start with social media. So one thing I hate is, I'm gonna make some general assumptions right now. The same people saying, you know, Cardi's stupid for getting back with Offset is probably coming from the same people that have done the exact same thing as her. So when you're looking, whether it's a girl or guy, it doesn't matter the gender. It just, you know, oh, my girl was cheating on me. She said sorry. I'm going back with her. But you just bashed her, you know.
Big brain shit. Okay.
And vice versa. And with the Cardi B situation, Offset did X, Y, and Z. I'm done. Social media gets a hold of it. And it's like, there's probably girls or guys in that comment saying like, oh, she's stupid. Yeah, leave him. But your baby dad, your dude, your girl probably did the same thing or even worse, and you're back with that person. Just because it's not on a bigger scale, people can't pick apart every little thing you do. It kind of goes unnoticed, but opinions are just like eyes. Everybody has them for the most part, you know.
True.
Now, when it comes to a friend saying, oh, my dude just did this or my girl just did that, for my advice, I always say, hey, I don't want to give you advice. I want to ask you questions and you reach your own conclusions.
Yeah.
Because, again, to your point, on Saturday they could talk mess about it. On Wednesday, they're back together. And it's like, you just made me waste all my good advice on you and you guys are back together? So it's like, no, I'm going to ask you questions, make you think about what I'm saying, and then you come to your own conclusions. Yeah. Because I don't want to be that guy to give people answers when I don't have the answer. You got to come up with the answer for yourself, ultimately. Mm-hmm. And hopefully they're picking this up, because I'm preaching right now.
Stop this. It's being broadcasted. It's okay. I got you. Don't you see? All right, this is a true like costume saying the same shit to me. Stop that.
Cos, I'm coming for you.
Like, make sure you got this recorded this time. This is gonna be a great little 20-minute little segment we have here. I want to say, I agree with you 1,000%. Now it's like weird because this is why it's weird to me. Where it's kind of like I always, when I've developed a like close friendship with someone, I feel like we're able to like drop our opinions, even if it's like unwarranted, because we've established that friendship. Now, if I really don't know you like that, then I'm like, do you want my opinion on this or anything, or you want my advice? And like, I feel like the friends that I have, where it's kind of like they can be like, either I don't need your advice or like I appreciate you said that, but this is what I'm gonna do. And it's just like, I guess I'm just speaking from that lens. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like, how do you really be supportive? Because if you know your friends like in a toxic relationship, where it's kind of like, yeah, like we have this thing that we've developed, but like, yo, like, believe it or not, how their relationship is, that toxic stuff seeps into your own relationship. So it's like, how do you respectfully G-check your friend, like in a respectful manner, but also staying out of your business, because they're bringing that to the friends group, and you're gonna do like an eye roll. You're like, nigga, you fucking talking to this bitch, and you got me fucking lying and shit. And
it's hard. It is hard because, yeah, I mean, I've seen it with my own two eyes, where it's like, I'm going to sum this up this way.
Yeah.
Only give advice when someone directly asks you sometimes, That is the best way to somewhat mind your own business, Now, if Henry is talking about his girl and saying nonsense, whatever, but if he doesn't ask you for advice, hey, just listen to the nonsense, form your own opinions in your head, but just don't verbally say it, because it could backfire on you, And it's tough, though, ultimately. It is hard. It is hard. I don't have the real answer, but it is hard, though.
We're creating answers. This is like, I know you don't have real answers, and I know we're just two guys just fucking kicking shit. Yeah. But it was just like, because I just really want to talk about the Cardi thing, too, as well, like on her side, where like, black men don't cheat, Offset, he really didn't cheat, but he cheated. But, I ain't going to give y'all a full math. But I think for me, it's just kind of like, girl, like, why is it that, like, that to me is the Olympics. All right. I feel like, and this is such a girl thing. All right, girls, you know what we're going to do? We're going to fake this divorce. We're going to make a song about WAP. That'll get him to change. Boom. Got it. Break. And the girls will echo that and like, girl, that's a smart ass plan. Because you know who's really going to make that relationship work? It's Offset. He hasn't bought in. She had to use a scare tactic to get him to fall in line.
It reminds me of have you ever seen the Maury show?
Maury?
Yeah, Maury Povich.
Yeah.
So remember, they would have like a hidden camera, and they have like the guy with some side chick and his girl, and he's like secretly being recorded, and the girl watches him cheat, and it's like, why do I need to go through all of that to know he's already cheating? Why didn't he even see it on television? Like, that is ridiculous. And it's like, come on, man. Like, sometimes you gotta just grow up and make those tough decisions, And don't try to pump fake somebody. Like, that's playing with somebody's emotions and their family,
Don't get me wrong. I've had my moments where I was like, all right, I'm about to, test and see some shit out. But like, never have I gone to these great lengths where I'm about to hire a private detective. Okay, I will say this. I so happened, like, I was just like in the neighborhood where I was actually legitimately running an errand, and I was like, all right, she said her ass is gonna be there, so did I go a little slower than I usually did? I was like, all right, cool, that fucking car there is okay. We out here. Now, was that wrong? Yes.
Is that toxic?
Because I was giving in to the little Robert inside me. He's like, yeah, you better check to see where this chick is at. But this gets to like, because I know you got to go pretty soon. This is like a couple minutes, and like we'll continue this shit. We'll continue this shit. I actually may put this. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. We'll do like a series of this, but like it gets to a point.
Quick hits.
Quick hits. Yeah. Like, when do you notice that you're toxic? Like,
I think somebody needs to call it out for you, because in your head you're doing the right thing. But sometimes it takes like a bird's eye view, or some different lenses to actually realize that, oh wait, that is toxic. Because Robert, that was a little toxic.
Yo, I was literally running an errand, and it just so happened that things make sense. Actually, I know the perfect way to end this. I'll go first. I will talk about a time where I did some shit I know I not needed to do. It was toxic. Was I wrong? Yes. Did it make me feel great? Of course. Mm-hmm. Back in the day. So this is with a past girlfriend. I was in college. Now we were long distance. Blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Things started getting a little different. Now there's a reason why, and I can't believe I'm putting this on camera, but this is what it is. Whatever. I think it's funny now. So I'm not on Twitter for a reason. I self-banned myself. I created a fake account.
Okay, this is toxic.
I created a fake account. And I pretended I was a student going to that school. And I had a conversation with her. And I was just like, man, I wasted 2 weeks.
That is bad. That is not cool.
I wasted 2 weeks. Don't get me wrong. Was my toxic self right in the long run? Fucking yes. Did I need to put myself through that? Fucking no.
So this is like a virtual Maury show? Like you were just... Is your head in Twitter?
Camera? Nigga, I ain't gonna tell you the fake name I went through, but I was like, yo, I gotta figure some shit out. I took 3 blue pills. That's what happened. Was that shit wild? It was fucking wild.
Was it worth it though? You said it was worth it?
For the toxic side of you, yes, because now how it panned out, that's how toxic. That's like I always like have like I'll do even wilder things, but like that was
you can do something wilder than that.
We know what we know what niggas is capable of, but like my thing is I just wanted information. I was like that's a sneaky way I can get information, but other than that, I would say that was like literally the top 3 wildest things I've done in my career. Now that's why I've self-banned myself from Twitter. I was like I could never go back. But what about you, Jay? What you got?
I'm actually literally thinking, and I honestly can say I have not done anything toxic.
Oh, here we go.
But this is why I need someone to call on my toxicity, because I can't think of anything. I'm literally drawing a blank. I don't think I do toxic stuff. I never made like a fake profile.
Drag me, why don't you? Hey. A part of growth is admitting that you did some stupid ass shit.
For sure, absolutely.
That shit was wild, bro. I
really don't know. I mean, once my fiance watches, I'm sure she'll come up with something, or any girl I've been involved with in the past will probably think of some toxic I did. But no, I mean, well, let's define toxic first.
Nigga, I had 13 motherfucking followers. I was fucking proud of that shit. I was fucking catfishing niggas before Neve.
Damn. Yeah, let's just say, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not a saint, though. I'm not a saint, but...
Oh, I'm far from that. But,
yeah,
But this is pretty much gonna end our segment because thank goodness we live like not far, because I don't want to get you late. But pretty much major topics to think about. One is doing too much, mm-hmm. And like literally, being able to like
find that balance too.
Exactly. Thank you. Finding that balance between yourself.
Cost.
Oh shit! Oh shit! It's about to be 2 black people. It's about to be 2 black people on the show. But now, Cost, you're a value member And like I was telling Jay before, when this pops, and I'm gonna speak this into existence because my pathways is growing. I haven't told Jay this, but I've been talking to some people I don't know about iHeart. Having a little studio on the hill. You know what I'm saying? But still, because we don't want our voices controlled. I like that Patreon. Pay $1 a month, you get to hear all that other stuff. But like, you're definitely gonna see us in different places because we want to be here to talk about things in our lifestyle. Well, because I don't know about you, but like I thought about like giving up a lot of stuff because I haven't seen a lot of results. Mm-hmm. But like, when we look back, I don't know how you're far trying to go with this, but like it'd be dope for my kids to be like, oh, you got a little podcast.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to monetize Macky's World one day. I definitely want to have a partnership with like iHeart, or Joe Budden's network or something like that. That's definitely the goal. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about with Macky World next. Like ultimately, it's like trying to figure out a way to get on a platform where we can make some money off of this. But I feel like once I'm making money, my mind's not going to change about the approach I'm taking because I'm just being myself, honestly. I feel like money can't change me.
So, right now, if we had Dave Chappelle on the show right now, and Dave Chappelle was like, so whose special was funnier, Key and Peele's or mine? Or no, my special, which show? What would you tell Dave?
I'll be honest with him. I'll be like, I enjoyed some of your skits. I know that Key and Peele took your idea, but in my heart of hearts, I strongly believe that Key and Peele was funnier than Dave Chappelle's show, and I will stand by that 100%. I'll have to be honest with him. Like, I'll tell him straight up, like I like Key and Peele better.
Okay. Now, as a friend, not just for podcast stuff, if I, Robert, somehow had a Blazer connection, and next year I was working with the Blazers, and I had pictures and things like that, would you ever comment and be like, this nigga is a whole ass fucking lie?
Absolutely not. There's no way.
Okay, great. All right.
There's
I
no
am
way.
so afraid for that connection to go through because I'm being a fucking goon. I'll be like, Rich City for life. But you all know I'm done.
My goal is definitely to get a Blazer on Macky's World within the next year. Absolutely.
Oh, I think that could happen.
Yeah, I
I
believe
think that
so.
could happen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we're done. Oh shit. We're done. This has been Games with.
Let's do it. Play.
No.
Games.
Whoa, he's trying to take my job. That was good. Oh, all right. We're done for the day.
You just gotta get it though. You probably wonder if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies.